Hello, hello. I'm here. Real quick before we get into the show. The store is open between now and November 1st at rageacrosstheinternet.com. You can pick yourself up a t-shirt, blanket, or a nice big mug so you have something to drink your coffee or hot chocolate out of as the weather gets colder. Check it out at rageacrosstheinternet.com. And thanks for listening to the podcast. Let's get on with the show.
Coming at you from Stretch Wolf Studio. It's that time again to Rage Across the Internet. It's your very favorite Werewolf the Apocalypse podcast. As always, I'm your host, Porter. Sitting to my left, the man of 1,000 dice rolls. It's CJ McCall.
They're not all botches.
Yeah, and to my right, not a botch in sight, it's M.
Hello, hello.
Daniel Tyson, still on assignment.
We might have to get Phil on that one, see if there has been a botch for Carly or not.
There was one botch for Carly.
Okay.
When I was wondering what the lady in red was.
Oh yeah.
I think it was like an intelligence roll, a completely useless botch. Nothing huge. I just thought it was a fat naked lady.
The giantess.
Yes, the giantess that was naked. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, there are no giantesses in sight tonight, but
I wouldn't call that a real botch, but it was a botch.
Well, you didn't botch by tuning into the show. This is Rage Across the Internet. And if this is your first show, we talk about the various aspects of Werewolf the Apocalypse for both the storyteller and player, novice to veteran. If it's not your first show, welcome back. Glad to have you. How are we doing?
Doing pretty good. Just got off a fun record this last one, and I've been loving the energy today.
Yeah, it's been a good recording session today.
Oh yeah, it's been nice and fun.
I don't know why that. Yeah,
I've got a stuffy nose. I don't know why that distracted you guys.
I think it's the roll of toilet paper.
Well, we don't have Kleenexes because that's kind of pointless when you can do the same thing you do with a Kleenex with toilet paper.
I know, it's just the roll of toilet paper that came just in frame.
Perfect.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of a stuffy nose, and I'm just trying to clear that up. Like, shoot, guys.
No, I caught a little, I don't know, summer cold, whatever, the other day. It was a goddamn nightmare.
Yep. And we're getting about that point where allergy season is going to start kicking in for me any second now.
Ugh.
And I'm in a new country, and there are some new allergens that I don't think my body's quite used to. I'm not having any allergy attacks, but I've been noticing kind of occasionally a stuffy nose.
Check any blankets you get for smallpox.
I was trying to find the joke. I couldn't get the bat off my shoulder.
Thank you.
Well, so we have I think it's going to be a pretty interesting show for you guys today. Before we get into this week in bullshit, I do have a quick reminder is that as of the day this airs, not the timeverse when we're recording it, but the day that you're hearing it, we only have 10 more days with the store open. That's right. We've made the announcement already. You guys are aware that the store is currently open to celebrate the 2 months of Halloween we tend to do here at RAI. 10 more days, guys. November 1st, that store closes. That's probably it for the year. So this is going to be your last chance. Make the most of it.
There's some good stuff on there. Put that little bit of business out of the way. Porter, you got anything for this week in bullshit?
You know what? I do. You thief.
Thief in the night.
I actually have some Halloween-related news that I want to bark about. So Universal Studios do their Halloween Horror Nights every year. I've never been to one. It's one of those I'd like to, though. They really do up Halloween down there, and I think that's pretty great. And they have various attractions that they'll put in there. Like sometimes they'll have like a Ghostbusters themed one, or like Beetlejuice.
Okay.
You know? And this year they've done Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay.
Which, it's a horror franchise, regardless of what's happened to it. It's quite
popular.
Right. And there's a movie, the new movie is coming out or is out, I'm not sure, but it's released adjacent, right? So they're doing Five Nights at Freddy's. Well, there is now there are people making noise. I guess they want to do these they're doing no scare passes, so that you can go to Halloween Horror Nights, but you don't want to be scared. And apparently this is a thing that's popping up in different places, like haunt attractions and haunted houses and shit, where you put the little lanyard on or whatever that says, "I don't like to be scared," at your horror attraction.
So, oh my goodness.
Yep, you go on.
Yeah, when I was a kid, and I have gone to this several times as an adult, there is a local like amusement park that has some, like where I grew up. It's like an hour away from where we lived, where you go and there's like all kinds of roller coasters. But every year on Halloween, the entire place is haunted house. There are several haunted houses within the park, and every different area has like a different kind of like theme. And there are scarers walking around with like fucking shovels, and they're chasing you, running that shovel on the ground, because a lot of horror is like sound. So, you know, they're doing things to like scare you. They're coming up in front of you and like they're in your face. And I remember going to that as a kid and it being terrifying, but also so fun, being there with like my friend and her family and like my brother and my mom. And we're just like getting the shit scared out of us as we're walking around from like ride to ride and going from haunted house to haunted house. Why would you want to know scare pass?
Right. And like, fine, there are some
just
people
don't go.
That's exactly it though. Because there are people who don't like to be scared, and that's fine. That's cool.
Or like watch somebody who's probably streaming it or has probably recorded shit going on there. You don't have to go there.
No,
you don't have to take away from somebody else potentially who's nearby you.
Right, and even then, there are plenty of they exist is Halloween themed things that are not scary. Yeah. That are not people jumping out at you or chasing you down or clowns with a chainsaw or whatever. But there are so many people love horror and they love to get into that. And then can you imagine now? Because this is the concern, right? Because you make the argument, well, what do you care? You don't have to wear one. Right. But if I'm near you and you have one on, then those actors of immersion. Right. Because you can't handle something. Maybe you're not supposed to be here then. It's not everything is for everybody. It's okay to go to something else. It's not okay to walk into something and demand it changes around your whims.
Yep.
Yeah, because that would really, like, thinking about how, like, amazing that is, being in that immersion, they probably, at that point, stop doing the immersion throughout the entire park.
Yeah.
And you only get the scare when you go into the lines for, like, those haunted houses.
But then, what if they're wearing a no scare thing in there?
Yeah.
Like, I guess there have been testimonials.
Do you go into the haunted house with the no scare thing? Because that feels.
I think so.
What do you do in there?
Yeah. You just enjoy the props.
I
enjoy the ambiance
at that point.
I guess. But yeah,
okay.
like I do know of one thing similar to this that I have seen in practice locally. We have a real big haunted house circuit down in this area, especially in like Galveston with all the ghost stories and all that.
Oh, it's so fun. I've been to some of those.
But there is one that I know of that is run out of a former hospital that's used for like EMS and everything for like disaster scenarios. So, you know, you have people pretending to be injured and everything. So they get training on what to do if like, you know, burning building, hurricane, flood, whatever. But during Halloween, there's a company that comes out and rents the entire building out to make it a multi-story haunted house.
Oh, cool.
And there is a pass that you get specifically because this is one of those places you have to sign a waiver before you go in. And there's a specific point on the waiver where they are no longer liable if you have epilepsy.
Yeah,
because there's a specific hallway where you mentioned this and I immediately remembered it. There is a hallway that always has somebody chasing you with a chainsaw. But it's never actually a chase, but the entire room is rigged with strobe lights.
Yeah.
So you do get one of these passes if you do sign up and you do have epilepsy, you disclose it, you get one of these passes. And the only difference is if you don't have it, the guy's just walking after you with the chainsaw revving, and the strobe lights is making it feel like you're being chased, and you're going to eat shit 2 or 3 times as you're running disoriented. If you have epilepsy, the crew, I've got to see some of this behind the scenes stuff. The crew can see the little pass because it like glows neon thanks to the black lights. They don't turn the strobe lights on, but the clown chases you. It goes from, Michael Myers walk with a revving chainsaw to full on Leatherface sprinting down the path at you.
That's awesome.
So they turn off the actual dangerous thing and turn it into really scary.
See, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
But that's how you make this work. That's how you do this versus I don't want to be scared, so I want to just walk through the haunted house to say I've done it.
Been to a haunted house with the same epilepsy warning, and they have a similar glow-in-the-dark badge, where before you went into the next room, they were just taken aside through a separate door and then joined in after the strobe light hallway. Yeah. It wasn't a chainsaw chasing, but it was a strobe light hallway with all kinds of jump scares in it. They were just pulled to the side before the hallway and then put back with their group after the hallway.
But see, that's both of those, it's cool, but it's different because epilepsy is like a real thing. I'm scared is not a real thing. I mean, that's not a real concern, right? You can get over
what you're going for.
Right. That's the purpose of being here is to embrace.
The whole purpose is to be scared. Why are you going there if you're not going to be scared?
But see, and this is the thing. Like, and there are reports of these scare actors in places where these kind of no scare passes exist, and apparently they're a logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe it.
Right, because first of all, being scared is subjective.
Yeah.
There's not a button like a solid rule of what is scare. Like, it's what scares you does not scare me. There are people who are afraid of clowns. I don't understand that fear.
But if they see a clown walking around.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't, so like if someone sees a clown and they're going to throw a fit because of the scare pass.
Yeah.
And then you get people going, well, I want to bring my kids to the FNAF thing. Well, then maybe, first of all, maybe they should do it like a day version where you can bring your children, but don't bring it's not for children.
Yeah.
So don't bring them to the attraction that's not for children.
The amusement park has like a day versus night, where the day is very Halloween themed. It has some scare, like it still has the haunted houses, but there's no scarers walking around the park.
Right, something more appropriate for kids.
As the sun starts to set, the warning comes out.
It gets more degenerate and bloody.
The fog machines turn on. No, the fog machines start to turn on. They start to warn, like, it is like the scare time is about to begin. If anybody is uncomfortable with this, if you have any children that you need to remove,
we're done fucking around. Get out. Right. And that's the thing, right? Because now you have these people, the people who love Halloween, who love the horror attractions, who are concerned about what this is going to do to their holiday, to their celebration. That we now live in a world where you can spend, I don't know, $30 and buy a little glowing lanyard that says, hey, you're not allowed to be near me if you're scary.
Yeah.
Right. Like fucking, I say make it glow in the dark. Give it like a lot of lights so we know to target those people specifically. It can be just a big flag that says, scare the shit out of me, make me cry so I don't come back to this. And the people who love it can have it, and then they can go to an attraction that exists already, by the way, where they won't be attacked and scared.
Yeah, or open the park, right? And then just like the entry area is for people with the passes. If they try to enter any of the other parts, it's like, I'm sorry, you have one of those passes on. You may not pass this area, this area here with these like 2 rides and like some of the food stalls. You can stay here, but like past here, there are scarers, and that pass means nothing.
Right. But
you're afraid of clowns. We'll send the clowns if you get past this point.
Oh, they'll be at the gate, like at the velvet rope, right?
Yep.
What, like a clown with a scary mask? I'm sorry, you may not pass. You have you have that.
Part of me's thinking like, champing at the bit like a Rottweiler on a leash almost. Just right up the gate. But, it's just step over this line. Step over this line. I fucking dare you.
Oh, man. Now I want to
cry.
Now I want to write a Rottweiler with a clown face.
Ooh, do it.
Oh, that might show up in game, y'all.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween, everybody. That's me for this week of bullshit.
I need to see if I still have that clown mask.
Oh my
I have one.
You gotta wear one to game. You gotta wear it to game.
I need to see if I have one. I used to have one because it was one of those things of when I had to take my brother trick-or-treating. I just put the clown mask on because, hey, I gotta just stick with my little brother the entire time. We're going to little kids events sort of things. I have to be the parent.
Oh, man.
So I just put on the clown mask because I know it freaks out so many of the neighborhood kids.
I think the last time I went out for Halloween, I was wearing death robes, one of those faceless masks.
Nice.
And I would just pick people to follow for a while.
Nice.
Like I think I was like 18 or not, like just out of high school. I think it was 18. And I just, would just pick a couple or pick a family or whatever. And I just follow them for a few blocks.
Yep. Nice. Oh.
But anyway, CJ, what do you got for this week in bullshit?
It's once again BattleTech related, just a little bit, because not much of it going on other than just getting whatever games I can and slowly dropping hints about the World of Darkness to some of the people I've been demoing for. Gotta work your way in it. See if are you ultra competitive and everything with this and like not one of the fun people to play around with? Let's not get you in an RPG. Or, you have the right vibe. Let's get you introduced to Werewolf. But this last one, I've been doing a bunch of little demo games trying to get more people in my local area to play, since it's either a 30-minute drive to where not many people play BattleTech or almost an hour and a half drive to get to where the people actually play.
Oh, yeah.
But, this last one I was demoing for a guy and I brought just random assortments of pairs of mechs for him to play. And the one that he picked was one with a really, really fast guy who can shoot really well, but will die if you sneeze on him. And the other one that is the big, massive unit that cannot shoot to save its life, but he will outlast the universe with the amount of armor he's got. And the way this game played, the little guy, he could not roll above a 3 to save his life. He needed to hit like 5s or 4s on 2d6. He could not roll above a 3.
Jesus.
We get about halfway through the game. That guy's on his last legs. The big guy hasn't even been touched because he's not a threat. He can't roll to save his life, and he has to hit 12s. The big guy finally gets in range, just in range of one of his big guns that I forgot that unit had. I forgot I gave him a version with this gun that deals 20 points of damage per shot. That sounds like a lot for this game. Most of the units I had, they had maybe 20 points worth of armor on anything combined. And what does he do? He gets one shot. I'm expecting my mech to get fucked up because he actually rolls the shot. He actually rolls the hit. And he takes one of my units that's been doing all of the work and not taking any damage, just took the head clean off.
Oh, no.
And I was like, okay, is there any way I could have survived this? No, I had 13 points of protection on that head compartment. So there was no chance. And hey, it's the story of, the dice will remind you, you only need to be lucky once.
Yeah, the truth.
Or unlucky once.
Yup. And so he got a good fun story out of that game.
That's
it was
funny.
kind of all over from there since the big guy was untouched, and it's now a 2v1. But ultimately, I think this guy's probably going to be picking up BattleTech himself, and then, if he starts playing regularly, he's going to start hearing about the World of Darkness in between games.
Yeah, excellent. And what you got?
Well, these guys know what I'm about to say.
We do. This is all a scam.
We do. This is also a
well,
secret from Danny.
Yeah. Oh, no. Okay, so every week I kind of like to troll these guys a little bit. One week I had a really fancy glass with some gin in it. And, I was being fancy, and Porter's like, oh, that's a nice glass.
Well, I demanded you had your pinky up.
Yeah, he demanded I needed my pinky up. So with that, the next week I had a snack with like caviar on top.
Yep. And when we asked what you're eating, It's just some caviar.
Yeah, just some caviar.
Just some caviar.
So, I've been doing this for a while, occasionally just throwing something really obtuse or crazy and for them to react to, seeing if they react. I had been discussing it with Mac, what to do. And so he came up with the idea, and I had completely forgotten. So I'm sitting here, we're at the beginning of recording, and he brings over a bottle of my favorite whiskey. I thought I was out of this whiskey. And he brings over a bottle of it with a glass. And I'm like, oh my God, you bought more whiskey for me. Oh my God, thank you.
She was beaming.
Yep. It made her day, it seems.
I've been out of the whiskey for a couple of weeks. It's been like 2 or 3 weeks since I've been out of my favorite whiskey. And so he brings it over. I'm excited because I just had we just went to IKEA today. I've been really overwhelmed with the amount of people I've been around and walking around a store. Those things are stressful for me. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm finally sitting down with some friends. We're going to talk about werewolf, and I get a glass of whiskey. Heck yeah.
Like Mac delivers this.
Yes, he delivers it to me. And so I take a sip of it, and it doesn't taste like whiskey.
The look on her face.
The divorce papers were already spawning in.
Yes, CJ and I are already laughing.
Not even married, and we're about to have divorce papers. I take another sip, and I ask him, what the hell is this?
And we are dying.
And just a second ago, I was asking him, why he brought me the entire bottle.
Mm-hmm.
So then I pick up the bottle, unscrew the top, and take a swig. It's not whiskey.
Would you like to tell everybody what it was?
So, before I tell them what it was, it looked like whiskey.
No, it did.
It legitimately looked like whiskey. It fooled even me. And the joke was that he was going to bring me a nice big glass of whiskey, and I was going to continuously pour myself glasses of whiskey and be drinking a lot, because it's not good to, role play and drink a lot. It's not good to sit down and have a intelligent conversation about werewolf and be drunk. That's not cool. But I am known to have 1 or 2 glasses. I have a glass of actual whiskey right here.
It's true.
While we're recording, because I enjoy a glass of whiskey every now and then.
It's never been a problem.
But the joke was that I was going to be over drinking, and eventually I would say fuck the glass, and I was going to drink out of the bottle. But I had forgotten about the bit.
And the best part was getting to hear the little commentary from Mac as he realized, you forgot.
Right? This was your idea. You forgot?
Because he's sitting in the same room, and he's like, oh, way to ruin it. So he had mixed me water with some sugar and soy, the soy sauce. But not enough soy sauce that it tasted like soy, but enough that it had a flavor. But I couldn't figure out what it was. So I'm continuously taking swigs, wondering, what the hell is this? It's not tea. It's not juice.
And meanwhile to us, because we don't know that's her favorite whiskey, right? In the bottle, So I just assumed it was a new type of, she's never had this whiskey before. And then to drink it and to go, I reject this. You are sleeping in the lawn. You brought me the wrong whiskey.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny.
And if you wonder where the energy for that tools came from, that's it.
We had just gone on to the 2 wolves right after the prank.
Yup.
So, here next week when we record again with Danny, we're gonna do the prank again.
Only get to be in on it,
right? You guys are in on it. CG and I are in on it. We're gonna just prank
Danny's
for one.
Not in on it.
It's a trick
Yep.
for Danny and a treat for us. So it is topical.
Happy Halloween.
Exactly. Happy Halloween. And that's this week in bullshit. So moving on to the show itself. Today we're going to be talking about cairns. And as you know, the cairn, not to be confused with the sept, is a place of great significance for Agaru. A spiritual epicenter, a place where Gaia, her power is at its peak. You know, a place to be protected, a place of worship and gathering. Cairns are vastly important to the Gyro Nation. And creating them can sometimes be a bit of a trick.
Yep.
So today, we're going to put M and CJ to the test, and I'll gremlin a little bit as we do a Caern Creation episode.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, I thought
I
it would
didn't know
be.
how this was. I didn't know how this was going to go. I just threw the idea out, and here we are.
Yeah, I thought it wouldn't be any fun if I told you. Right? So, you know, obviously there are many types of cairns. You know, location, type, totem's blessing, tribal affiliation. There's so many different factors. And I'm going to leave all of those open.
Okay.
Except, I'm kind of tired of the rural forest cairn. So you guys are going to put your cairn in a city.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
Love it.
A populated area, wherever you want it to be.
Okay. City Cairn.
Yup.
Okay. So the question now becomes, where should we start? Should we start with the type of Cairn then? Or maybe
Or location, because location might help with the significance of the type of Cairn.
I would agree
and
with
that's
that.
And that's where I was thinking of it from the other way of, you know, what type of Cairn? Now, where do we put that one?
That is true, yeah. Okay, so what type of Cairn are we attracted to here?
Let me pull up the list. I would have had that list ready.
Where is the list so I can also pull it up?
Should be in the core book.
Got it. If you get the page, let me know.
Will do.
As well.
Probably also one in Guardians of the Cairns or now mind you guys, any list of cairn types is not all inclusive.
Correct. But
Fair. But it could jog like a idea for something else.
That's perfectly fair.
oh yeah, so the types we have are all have a moon bridge, but going down the list we have enigmas, gnosis, healing, leadership, rage, stamina, strength, urban, visions, will, wisdom, and wild.
Well, I like the Fresh Prince, so I want to steer you toward will.
Just from that initial type, and I like the, you know, the powers give you some, you know, give you kind of what they do, but I like the spirits encountered for the ideas that come off of it. Like Enigmas has the illusions, the shadows, the chameleons.
I was actually just looking at the spirits encountered instead of the actual types for inspiration.
Interesting that ghosts are associated with gnosis. I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, worst case scenario, there is 12 of them, and I do have a D12.
That is an option. We also have maybe
None of them are jumping out at me right now. Aside from maybe I like stamina, and I could see will actually being interesting, not as the joke.
I was also attracted to the war or ancestor spirit, as well as perhaps a shadow or illusion.
Okay, so
Those were under enigmas.
yeah, so enigmas or a will.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Porter, do you have a die on hand for an odds or evens roll?
Give me a second.
Okay. Because it was either that or I'm going to go grab one real quick.
No, they're just on the other side of the table.
Fair. Do you want odds or evens?
Odds.
Okay. So odds will be enigmas, evens will be will.
1.
Okay. So it's an enigmas.
Enigmas.
Okay. So
All right.
So where do we want this character to be in the city?
What city? Or what region would this be in?
That is a question for us.
What place is enigmatic?
Because it is illusion, shadows. Part of me is thinking, leaning into that illusions, and this is a front. My first thought with this of how do I make a Enigma style Caern leading into that illusion in a city? First thought is a wise guy's front. Like an old speakeasy in Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Maybe it's not that anymore, but that's what it was before. This was a gathering place, a place where a lot of, news is passed, a lot of mysteries, a lot of, people pretending to be something other than they are when they're down here. Hey, when we leave, we're upstanding citizens, but when we come down here, we're going to drink and have fun. And that illusion.
Yeah.
Is what kind of brought that correspondence here to lead to that focal point and focusing of Gaia's energy in this area.
My first idea with illusion was to go to a desert or some kind of perhaps casino-ridden city of some type, where you have that traditional thought of what is there is not actually there. If you go into the wilderness, and you're dehydrated, is that a reservoir over there? No, it's not. It's just more sand. But instead, in this case, it's the cairn, and what you see as you approach is perhaps not actually there. Kind of. Yeah, that was my first idea. Something in the desert that kind of fits that idea or stereotype.
But the desert
is not the city.
The city.
Yeah, but there are cities in the desert. And that feeling or that, spirit of illusion could still exist in a place like that. You also have disillusionment whenever it comes to somewhere like LA. Not LA. What am I talking
Vegas.
about? Vegas, where, the glitz and glam is what's maybe on the surface, but not quite what's at its core.
I do also like that, the casino idea. Because, that can work with the front angle as well if we wanted to keep it with the glass walkers or not. But at the same time, there's a lot of shit they do in casinos. Hey, there's no windows in most casinos, so you lose track of time.
Yeah, and also they do a lot of things with scents as well as with lighting and yeah.
Okay. I like the idea of this is a casino. I could imagine it being not if we were doing this in Vegas, not a major one. This is one of the ones kind of off the beaten path, probably the rougher area, if not Atlantic City. But at the same time, I like the idea of the in the middle of the desert.
Yeah. Okay. Porter, do you have a?
I'm debating how much I want to mess with you. Because there are two things running in my head to gum up the works for you guys. I'm apparently playing the role of the whammy here.
Hey, can't have a smooth ride all the time.
Because the first thing I thought was, well, what if it was in Chicago?
Okay.
And this was the hangout of the hounds. But then I thought,
oh yeah.
But then M started talking about casino. So I went from the speakeasy Chicago thing, and I thought, well, if we go to the casino, maybe the totem's buffalo.
Okay.
As in the sept of the cash money buffalo.
which is where Carly's from.
Yup.
Carly is from the Sept Cash Money Buffalo.
I
So you know
kinda
what?
love that.
And I've a few characters that reside there already.
Good, then you got a head start to build.
Yeah.
I have Gremlin, and it is so.
Okay.
So
We're the
Caern
Sept of
spirit
Cash
is-
Money Buffalo.
Yep. And the totem spirit is buffalo.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I was going to actually bring up the ban of buffalo. It is you have to use all of something you kill. Now, this is a
Oh.
Cairn, so you don't have to follow the ban necessarily.
Right.
But I like the idea of, especially this being casino, we're not killing you. We're just bleeding you dry. We're using everything you
Yes.
come in here with.
The spirit of the law rather than the letter of it.
So this is a money-making operation almost, which, especially with a name like the Cash Money Buffalo.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. Is it just Buffalo, or is Buffalo kind of in an alliance dual totem situation with someone like Almighty Dollar? Because there is precedent for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So opening up my character stuff, opening up Carly
I didn't plan
Green.
this. This works nice. I like
It
it.
does work really nice. Yeah. Carly Green, Sept Cash Money Buffalo, casino outside of a town in a city of Arizona.
Okay. So
Unspecified city of Arizona. Look at that. There's a nice little water fountain nearby with several benches. Nice oasis vibe. It's where she likes to sit and read and write in her diary. Blah blah blah. Do I have any other information? Oh, the main populace is Uktina and Glasswalker.
Okay. I could imagine this maybe started off as an Uktena Sept, probably on reservation.
Yeah.
If I don't know if there's any in Arizona, but hell, there could be one in the World of Darkness.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. There is in the World of
Yeah.
Darkness.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
And
the
I
world
do-
of darkness.
And this is where I do like the idea of this is I like that joint, Almighty Dollar and Buffalo working together here. Where, here came the Glasswalkers. This Sept was surviving. They were doing their thing. They weren't thriving. Turn of the century comes around, natives in the reservations and everything that goes down with them. A couple enterprising Glasswalkers introduce themselves, ingratiate themselves with the elders, and hey, here's an idea. Why don't we change things up a little bit? Yeah, we don't have to let people in the Cairn, but you have the Cairn right here. It's a nice, secluded cave that maybe becomes like the basement of the casino at some point, or part of the basement.
And the area is urbanizing quickly. Let us help you survive in this urbanizing environment.
Save the
You guys
Cairn
can-
by putting a casino up.
Yes. And that way that we will own this area. Nobody will touch it. You guys have the rights since you guys live on this reservation, and you guys can open it up, put it in your name. Nobody can buy it because you've got our financial backing.
We'll just handle the business.
We'll handle the business, and you guys can handle the interworkings. That we can work together, and this is going to be a good enterprise here in the city.
And this is also where I kind of like the idea of this was outside of some town in Arizona, and I like the idea of the urbanization, slowly the casinos being built up over these years to where we get into the modern day where it might as well be a city in its own right.
Yep.
And this little town has kind of shrank, if not become part of basically the complex.
Yep. You've got the kinfolk living outside of the casino. And so it maybe, isn't the city center, but it's a poppin' place that people like to go and spend their money.
And plus, it's a touristy area, so nobody's going to question why you have all these people from all over coming in and out, maybe going on meetings now and then, or just hanging out in this area.
Well,
And perhaps Yeah. And there's like maybe an exclusive area where some people go into the back, some big spenders. And there's another exclusive area where, the Garu go for their meetings down to the basement.
Well, and to add to that, if this is on tribal land, this means that the regular John Q law has no authority.
Yeah.
So perhaps the reservation law is comprised mostly of kinfolk.
Yep. And those are the people walking around, and if they see something, they will say something to the sept. Hey, we think something over here is going down that's a little out of our pay grade. You want to send one of the pack over to this block.
I mean, if the sheriff on the res is the daughter of the warder,
ooh,
for example,
like, you have a little dive bar a little ways out of the casino that's still on the res, but not quite. You have a couple guys coming in from like California, having some fun, getting a little handsy with the waitress, and the bar owner just smashes one's teeth across the bar. Sheriff comes in. John, how's the kids?
Yeah.
Where the other two are expecting. Arrest this guy. Arrest, get rid of him. He did all this. Look at what he did to my face. Oh, hey, John.
So at that rate, within the area around the casino, I'm sure we have several like kinfolk owned businesses.
Oh, yeah.
That have like some kind of safe haven for Garu to go and stay at.
And I like the idea of the kinfolk owned businesses, but at the same time, not necessarily, maybe not all kinfolk. Like a good number of them, yes. But, this is also still just the res. Yes, the sheriff's, like the law on the res is definitely, if not 90% kinfolk and like a regular deputy who doesn't know because they just eat the people.
One person driving around giving speeding tickets.
Yeah.
Or it's like, oh, you're a drunk and disorderly individual tourist.
And and this is also leading more into like the illusion aspect of the Caern of, hey, it's a kin town hiding in plain sight.
I like it, yeah.
So this is a lot of like the Cash Money Buffalo and just the area around it. So now maybe we need to start coming up with some of the people.
Read my mind.
Like, does this have a full elder council, one of each auspice? Or maybe we got two people in charge. One Glasswalker, one Uktana?
Yeah, co-leading the sept, one of them operating one half while another operates the other.
Yeah. Kind of like the representatives for the totems almost, since it is this kind of joint venture. Glasswalker, once again, focused on the money, focused on the business. Maybe part of this is almost like, hey, a Garu who needs help, a Garu who needs some money to get from point A to point B. Cash Money Buffalo might be able to help you out. Maybe you got this big, mess of a operation you got to clean up that needs some Glasswalkers. You come here, spend a little money, we'll get you taken care of. But at the same time, maybe you got some need for some deep lore. You go talk to the Utenas here. And it's kind of like serving those dual purposes. Well, yeah, the Caern is a Caern, but the sept itself, I can see filling in both of those.
Well, let's start at the top of this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about the elders in charge, who is the quote council of elders if you're talking one for one. So what is that relationship like? Is it, I mean, if it's one and one, cool. First, who are they? Certainly.
Yep.
But what is the dynamic? What is the power dynamic? Are they coexisting harmoniously? Are they pretending to coexist harmoniously? Are there power plays involved? Do the Glasswalkers, are they trying to branch out and make this more of a board? Is, what is the milieu there?
So I do have some of the individuals in the sept already named.
Okay.
With a very short description.
Oh.
Because I also have an idea for the Glasswalker angle, depending on what you got.
So I don't have the entire lineage of the sept, of course. I just have some here and there. Yeah. That would be weird if I did that entire thing. I do have a Mistress of the Rites.
Okay.
I do have a peace leader.
You have an elder. I figured it would be like one of the first ones, since it's a fairly important position if you had it.
Yeah, but she wrote in what's important in regards to Carly.
Fair.
I wrote in what was important in regards to Carly. So I think the closest to an elder would be the Mistress of the Rites here to Carly.
Especially if this is the Uktena half of the Cairn.
It is the Uktena.
That makes sense.
It is an Uktena.
And this is where I kind of like the idea of they are cooperating to a point. Since, this is the Uktena's land. They have the stories, they have the, they're not the Wendigo where they're holding the grudges, but they still have the stories from when the Wormcomers came and how it happens when you let them in. So I can imagine the Glasswalkers here, and the deal is, yes, we will work together. We will make this place successful. We will do what we can. We will help each other out. Glasswalkers, when you're in the casino, this is your area. This is where you rule. This is where your claim is. The reservation in the land around is the Uktenas. You're not to go investigate areas around because, I can imagine some Bane Tender spots have been hidden around. So, you can't go out into the flats to go digging around, poking around, finding something. But the Glasswalkers are like, okay, that's fine. I don't want to go accidentally stumbling upon some pocket apocalypse.
Yeah, there's just no AC out there anyway. Fuck off.
Yeah. And so it is that we're working together. We like this. We can make this work. But there is that slight subtle tension of, hey, look at this, Uktena. You have an area of your territory that is not under your control.
Well, I bring this up, and I know you guys know this, but let's be clear for everybody here. The reason we bring this up, because the personalities of a Cairn help set the mood and the environment of the Cairn.
Yep.
And especially when you have something that's predominantly two tribes, how those tribes interact is really going to help or really going to inform the politics and the feel of an area. Right. And it's even on small scale. I think of an example of with the Glasswalkers in our postmortem series right now. We're in Long Road to Ruin, and you have the situation with Nathaniel Owens and Max Romano. Yeah, being a wise guy and a corporate wolf in the milieu there, where you have the Glasswalker player character who is now caught in the middle of that kind of power struggle. Right. You also have the Red Talon Elder Scratch Eye.
Yeah.
In the tension between him and Max, the two elders diametrically opposed and who on a personal level loathe each other.
Mm-hmm. So perhaps here in this city or in this area that is the Sept and the surrounding area, the Glasswalkers are trying to branch out their power a little bit. Yeah. Like, hey, we have several kinfolk that are in the know that maybe own this bar over here. Can we also have control over this area around the bar?
Yeah.
And the Uktena are like, no, we've got a lot of kinfolk that live in that area that's still under our control, that's on our res. Like, that's our space. And it's like, hey, but we also have some that live in that area, and we own not only that business, but a few others. And we lend
put up
you
a
guys
nice little high rise right here, bring in some more tourists, bring in some more money, give up people some place to stay, people to go, places where people can vanish without anybody asking questions.
A little hotel with like a penthouse that we can, you can have some guests stay in.
Well, you got a Bane sealed in a rock over there? No, that's fine. We'll put up a Starbucks. It can be in the back room. No one will ever know. You can do your little dances and keep it safe.
and this is where I've already got I've got a name in mind for this potential Glasswalker, because I am liking the idea of this is a wise guy who, I like the more modern setting where the wise guys are kind of losing control to the board or have lost control. Well, this is a guy, I've gotten in the ground floor here. I've got my roots here. This is my area. The board don't got no say, but I'm building my own. And my first instinct for a name is Midas, because everything I touch turns to gold.
Like that.
That's how I make all the money. Anything I touch makes money right there.
So now, are you suggesting him for the Elder or for a power
Correct.
player in the Sept?
I'm thinking if not the Elder, the main power player. Like if there is a 2 or 3 Glasswalkers who are in charge here. And what do you think? Midas Elder or just one of the main power players? Since we are doing this cooperatively.
But the idea of him being a power player excludes him from being an elder.
Not
Or could
necessarily.
he both be an elder and the power player?
Yeah.
Because, it's a glasswalker.
Yeah.
He's trying to move himself and his unders to be a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should combine the two. I think he should be both an elder and a power player because I like the idea of the elder glasswalker here trying to spread the power of their own tribe without snuffing out the power of the Uktena.
Yeah.
But we only have this space. We could branch out a little bit. It's been a lot of years since we made that deal. We can expand this deal. And with that, perhaps we could expand our territory as well. If we buy this business that's right on the border of the Sept, right over here, we could extend the Sept just a little bit more.
Where if the Uktena Elder tells him, no, you can't have this, and he's like, okay, it's fine. How about over here? He's the one willing to work with him.
Yeah, he's really good at that negotiation.
Yeah. He won't take no for an answer, but he'll say, how about over here? How about just a little bar? We got a few people with some dry throats. What about just a small little bar over here?
With that, I have kind of I have a character here that I'm going to contend for the Elder Uktena.
Okay.
They don't have much behind them other than a short description, but I feel could be a good balance between the power player and the Uktena. It smells your candor.
Okay.
That's her deed name, smells your candor.
Okay.
Philodox Uktena to be the Elder Uktena.
Okay. It's not.
I don't know. I feel like a Philodox is a nice little balance to the power player in this area.
Okay.
I have here that they are kind-hearted and blind in one eye.
Okay. So, potentially the bleeding heart type. And this is where I'm already picturing, okay, how's Midas going to use this? She's real nice. She's real kind.
But where does she get that deed name from? Smells your candor. What does she have up her sleeve that is going to... He needs to play his plays well because she's going to know if you're bullshitting.
And this is
I feel like I'm looking at these names that I have of the individuals in the Sept, and this is under Sept members of note for Carly, and Smells Your Candor was right there, and I was like, okay, I feel like that's kind of like a name that's a little nose up, no pun intended, nose up.
And I already have an idea for this relationship from Midas's perspective. He fucking hates her because she can call him on all of his bullshit.
I can see it.
Yeah, she has a sixth
I
sense,
can
a seventh sense.
I can respect your willingness to work. So I'm going to be straight with you. I'm going to take here, here, and here. I'm willing to give up here. But then whenever they have the big meeting with all the other members of the Sept, well, now, how about we make this little deal, playing it up more. But when the meeting's happening behind closed doors, all the pretext is dropped.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Buffalo's a wisdom totem. Is it not?
Yeah, it is.
I very much can see the dichotomy here between the two totem spirits.
Yep.
Because you have the wisdom in Buffalo, who I feel is probably guiding.
Smells your candor.
Maybe just the Uktena, the Sept in general, to be more cautious when dealing with these glass walkers who are serving Almighty Dala, who
and
are
a
going
little
to
bit
do
bullheaded too. Like,
Sure.
absolutely not. We are not budging on this issue.
right.
And while she might be kind-hearted and soft-spoken, it's a scary kind of soft-spoken. Like when she stops talking, she looks over at the map and just goes, Shit's back. All right. So, anyways, aside from that, he knows he needs to switch it up because he did something wrong.
Yeah, there's something there that's not supposed to be fucked with. And this is where I can imagine this is where he got his position. Midas wasn't the one that started this. He wasn't the glasswalker that brought it in. He's probably been the one that's helped it get so successful. I can imagine his mentor, his predecessor,
Sally Thumbs.
pushed it too far, started work on one of these places, let something out, and died horribly because of it.
And
The Uktena got it back under control.
but
and
there's
so
a lot of
Midas is-
precedence to not let them go into any area that could have any repercussions.
So while Midas knows the Uktena like their secrets, they won't tell you everything. When Smells Your Candor doesn't tell me to go here, I'm not going there. Fuck that.
A Starbucks will not be opening up there. What about 2 blocks over?
Well, no,
Like,
see, by
I'm
putting
alre-
the Starbucks there, we keep it safe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
Keep
could
your
also
little
be an
rock
argument.
safe. It's in. We'll put. You know what we'll do is we'll build the freezer around this little rock.
Oh, what if instead a storage unit facility? You'll be the one with the keys to the unit. You just pick the one.
You could even have 6 units around that unit for a buffer.
And like, I'm already loving just this little dynamic, this throwing back. And I can believe Midas is, I'm leaning towards a Galliard or a Ragabash.
With Smells Your Candor being a
Philodox.
Philodox, I feel like a Ragabash is a good balance to that.
Mm-hmm.
A Galliard could also have like a good sense of like talk, like a way to talk about it, the way to talk around it.
Mm-hmm. And that's where I'm like, I'm debating which one. Could do odds or evens.
Let's go odds or evens.
So, fucking evens, Galliard odds, Ragabash.
5.
He's a Ragabash. Got it.
All right, so we've got a Ragabash. What's his dude name?
Midas. Just simply Midas.
Midas. Ragabash Midas being the leader of the Glasswalkers.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got Smells Your Candor, Philodox, Uktena leader.
Making up the cash money buffalo.
Yeah.
That even adds even more to that name. It's literally just the totem's names, more or less.
Might I suggest a third party?
Okay.
Because if you're having the decisions made by 2 people, what happens when
Yeah.
they disagree?
Yep.
Yep.
I would offer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about the auspice, but a 65-year-old head janitor, a bonar,
Okay.
who spends his
Okay.
days just observing and wandering the property, mopping up a spot here and there, cleaning a window here and there. The purpose is, of course, not that he's an actual janitor, but this gives him something to do and a reason to wander
Mm-hmm.
in a way that people will ignore him entirely, so he is the eyes and ears of the place.
Yep.
Perhaps he even sometimes drives the street cleaner down the road.
If he wants
he's
to,
just-
whatever.
Yeah. Maybe he stops and gets a hot dog on the street.
I'm imagining he's the unofficial third elder of this council. He's the one, he's not even officially a part of the elder council, but he is. This is where I'm also picturing, the new pack who's getting introduced to all the glitz and glam of the casino after spending a week out in the desert with the Uktena for the rite of passage and everything. And here's just the little janitor walking around, pushing his bucket, and they're having to talk all, okay, we've got normal people around. How do we do all the, cloak and dagger, not talk about everything? And they fuck up and they have to go sit in front of the Elder Council. And who's the one that caught them fucking up? Here comes the little old janitor. You're an elder?
We didn't meet you. No. He just kind of sits in on the meetings occasionally, especially when there's a disagreement. He's maybe called in and, all right, what's going on?
Yeah. And
I like it.
I can imagine fucking Smells Your Candor and Midas are going at it for a couple hours.
Well, Midas is going at it and Smells Your Candor is kind of shut down.
Yeah, like they're going at it. They're going,
Yes.
They've been going at this for so long that it's at this point the old man knows, okay, I gotta walk in. And is it he's, just the one to remind you guys, hey, there's other people in the sept other than you? Or is it he lays down the law almost?
See, I was thinking, Wendell Eyes and Ears, by the way, walks in and just lays it down. He is tiebreaker.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that.
Again, you guys are making it, but I just want to throw something out there.
Yeah. Well, he I feel like being the Bonar, he has a pretty good idea of the areas that these glasswalkers are guarding. He doesn't know quite what's there, but he knows the areas, and he knows, depending on who's in that area, what a big deal it is. And so sometimes he's maybe like, yeah, the glasswalkers get the Starbucks. Let him open up the Starbucks.
Yeah.
And other times he's like, sorry, no, you cannot open that there.
And at the same time, I can imagine he's respected enough by the Uktena because, he's sided with them when it's been clearly, Midas has been in the wrong this entire time. He's been, barking up the wrong tree. Here's the law. Midas, shut the fuck up. Go sit down.
Yep.
Go count your money.
And other times he's maybe put them in their place. Like, that really isn't that big of a deal. It is the tiniest of spirits that you are binding there.
That was a scrag sealed away 3 weeks ago by a rookie Theurge on their first rite of passage. Or no, on their first rank challenge.
Yeah, they were told to go bind a Bane, and it was a tiny ass scrag. They can open that there.
And once again, it's like, how the fuck do you know all this? Nobody notices me when I just walk around. I'm just the eyes and ears.
Eyes and ears everywhere.
Eyes and ears. I like it.
And it is that fun little tiebreaker. And once again, I love the idea of the pack fucks up. The player pack fucks up enough that they have to go meet the elders. Here's Midas sitting here, probably cleaning a gold desert eagle. Smells Your Candor. Sitting, maybe meditating or drinking, tea or something.
Yeah, drinking some tea, offering some tea to Midas, and Midas is like, nah.
I only drink shit that costs 3 bills minimum.
Yeah.
And then here's just the little old man just sitting there with his paper in the background. Why is he here? He's not even saying anything. And ultimately, he's the one to make the final decision on whatever the pack did because he was the one that saw it.
Yeah, he walks in and they're like, what in the world is the janitor doing here? And he sits down and smells your candor. Cup of tea? Yeah. Pours him a cup of tea. And it's like, oh, okay. The elder just poured this guy a cup of tea.
He's not the leader of the set, but that's because he doesn't want to be.
But he's on the same level of, or really similar level of these two, that she is willing to pour a cup for him.
Right. And clearly an important position, because if you have two people in charge, you're going to need the tiebreaker.
Or that is going to get messy.
Yep. So, okay, you have your command.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
How are we on, say, defenses, other members of the Sept? I mean, obviously there are, the Sept offices to be filled, but how are we for Guardian packs? Who's in charge? Who's our warder? What do you got?
I have a Guardian pack. I've got Dust in the Wind, but I only have 3 members in Dust in the Wind.
Okay.
we've got Willow. We've got Eyes of the Hawk. And we've got Serpent Tongue.
Clearly you're not wrong.
Yeah. And I will say, I just had an idea for this sept, especially being divided so evenly between, Midas and Spells Candor. The Uktena are in charge of the defense and the protection of the lands. So, Warder Uktena, Guardian Packs Uktena, with maybe save for an exception for the casino. Aside from that, Wormfolk, Glasswalker. Questing Packs, Glasswalkers mostly. Maybe even the Gatekeeper.
I think some of the packs should be maybe a little mixed to keep a balance.
I'm just talking about the majority, at least.
Yeah.
Or first picks.
Yeah, first picks. With this Dust in the Wind, I've got an Uktena and 2 Glasswalkers.
Okay.
So the Uktena is Willow. Also, that is the Peace Leader.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which is that an Uktena specific position, or because I don't remember hearing that one?
The walkers don't have it.
Okay. Which makes sense.
Mind you, as you guys are creating this, there might be some flux on those positions too, right?
Yeah.
That is true.
Right. We've kind of established a command structure.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And now you bring up the I like how you're starting to divide down tribal lines kind of from the positions. But when you bring that up, so how big is this cairn? Because the idea is the cairn was the casino. Yep. How big is this bond that we have to be worried about outside the casino versus I mean, they could still have territory in their protectorate, but that's not the same as a bond.
True. Okay.
So where would the bond end? Is it just the casino, or does it branch out from there? I like to think it maybe branches out a bit, because this is described just outside of, or on the edge of, a small city. Yeah. It's the casino, maybe a couple of blocks into the city, and then a little ways right outside.
Yeah. I do agree with I can imagine the bond is maybe 1 to 2 blocks just outside the casino.
Yeah.
So it's still a decent sized area. But at the same time, the Guardian Pack is primarily, once again, defending that area around, being that first line of defense. And then you got the guys in the casino proper. At second to potentially last line of defense. So you have that little buffer. And then, of course, the Uktena are in charge of the protectorate outside of the casino and the businesses.
And you've got a Glasswalker pack that just operates inside.
Yeah, thinking just the fixers.
But see, and that's important, right? Because we are dealing with not only a city cairn, but one that is a business that is populated, or rather used by all walks of life, all sorts of people. So every day is a potential veil breach. Every day is a potential cairn attack.
Yeah.
And with that, I think that not just one pack for outside and one pack for inside is enough. I feel like you need at least one more to give those packs a day off every now and again.
Yeah.
And so I feel like maybe we have one that's all Uktena outside. We've got one that's all Glasswalker on the inside. And we've got a mixed pack that alternates between the two. That Dust in the Wind, if we add another member to Dust in the Wind and go 2 and 2, they are the ones that alternate with these 2 packs to make sure that nobody's overworked. Because if you're working 7 days a week, fuck that.
How about for Dust in the Wind specifically, we add a Bonar to it. Bring in that, some of the rep from Eyes and Ears, just a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's the one Uktena leading the pack, and the 2 Glasswalkers under him.
And you've got Dust in the Wind, or somebody in Dust in the Wind that is from that...
the Bonar contingent.
Yeah. since it is a city, you might get a couple of those in the sept.
Yeah, the one to remind the glasswalkers, hey, don't dream too big.
And it's not inconceivable, right, to have some other tribes mix in if you are so inclined. I, for example, wouldn't find a Get a Fenris pit boss out of line.
And that was kind of something I was thinking with, I brought up the Fixers being that guardian pack for inside the casino.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of them definitely a Get. Leader's probably the Glasswalker, and I'm imagining the Get, the Glasswalker, and I'm trying to think, I think 3 is a good number for them. Because it's only really the one floor above the basement where we were talking about that cave originally that started off as the Cairn before the Glasswalkers came in and built the casino on top of it. So they only really need to just make sure that first floor is as secure as possible. So this is where I'm thinking primarily the 3 in this Guardian pack.
Yeah.
And
otherwise, you've got kinfolk at the door of the casino greeting.
And you got
people.
everybody outside.
Yeah, and the ones that work at the door, at least one of them that's on duty is in the know.
And this is where I'm trying to think. So we got the pit boss being the Get. The upper, like the connection to management being the Glasswalker, who I'm going to say is probably the one in charge. Who do we want that third? Because I'm debating, do we make it another Glasswalker or do we introduce some outside? Because one of my first thoughts is maybe a Strider for the context. And it be 1 or 2 Striders that are regularly rotating out of this area, keeping the Glasswalkers up to date on news from outside whenever the one comes in. So it's really a pack of 4, just one's on assignment at all times.
Or maybe that third one is just another Glasswalker that has really close connections to a few other packs that is able to go out and get some information. Maybe we just have somebody who's really charismatic.
Yeah. So the face man of the group.
Mm-hmm. The face, not the leader, but the face that like, all right, I'm gonna go get some information from my friend. I'll be gone a couple weeks, but I'll come back with something.
Yeah, I know a guy. He's meeting me in the next town over.
Yeah, and so this third member sometimes disappears for a certain period of time and comes back with some news every now and again.
Okay, because I am especially looking at the inside of this casino being more like the mob structure, where yes, it's a guardian pack. Yes, this is the pack mainly in charge of the guardians, but each one of them has at least 2 or 3 underlings.
Yeah.
So while it is one official guardian pack, it might, where it's with 3 members, I'd say there's actually probably 6 Garu in charge of the security.
Well, Garu or Garu and kinfolk?
I would say, actually, let's mix that up with Garu and kinfolk.
Yeah.
Because, you got to factor in, right, how many Garu are actually going to be in this place, padding the population. If we have 40 Garu on deck in this casino, for example, well, then this is a major stronghold of the Garu Nation all of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll say total of 5 outside of Midas in the casino. So 6 Garu in the casino plus the kinfolk under them.
Yeah. And so you've got the Glasswalker in charge of the guarding in the casino. Yep. You've got their face of the pack, which is commonly gone getting intel from the surrounding area. Also a Glasswalker. And then you've got a third member being a Bonar.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Get. Because now I'm trying to think of names / little descriptors to put to them. And like I said, I'd like the name of just, this is the Fixers. Midas has got a problem. These are the guys who fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think let's just keep it to packs for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm saying that because of time constraints. So we look at that, right? So we have the command structure. That's going to be the 3 Garu. And we're saying 6 more beyond them.
Yeah. So you've got your casino guardians being the Fixers. You've got your out of the casino guardians being,
which we have 4 there, so that's a total of 13 Garu so far.
and then you've got your back and forth guardians that kind of, or maybe we just have Dust in the Wind as the outside of the Bond guardians, or outside of the casino guardians. Yeah, so we've got Dust in the Winds, we've got the Fixers, and then we've got the Elders.
So yeah, we got 13. Probably one more pack, you think?
Yeah, one more pack.
That mixed questing / guardian pack, potentially.
Yeah, give like another 5.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the cool thing, right? Because it is a casino, there are hotels in the casino. So there could be an entire floor dedicated to visiting Garu who are there for questing as well as staff, right? The Fixers are in rooms 3B, 3C, and 3D, whatever.
We've got our floor for the visiting dignitaries, our VIPs and high rollers, the Garu we like coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the floor for the schmucks who come and visit without paying.
And then you got the tourists, which of course keep Almighty Dala happy.
Yeah.
And we've got a floor as a buffer between, the new Garu.
And of course, we got the actual heart of the Cairn and everything down in the basement.
I can add. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that extra added level of security of, you're not going back here unless you are in the know.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be fucking locked up tight, right?
Yep.
And I think you add to this too, though, right? Because it is a casino, so there's a show floor.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Which those shows, carefully crafted by some member of staff, whoever it may be, right? We don't have time to detail everybody, but we've got a number more or less here, right? So those shows they all pay tribute to the totems. Fucking 2 shows a night dedicated.
Paying tribute to totems.
Right?
It's always keeping that strong.
Yep.
What's it called? You get the like classic, like, hey, we're going to do this whole little I had the idea immediately of like playing up the Native American history sort of thing and like the really leaning hard into the totem for Buffalo at the point.
Right.
For the, that's the morning show. That's the one nobody goes to.
Oh.
But enough people do. Because remember, it's in the casino.
Right.
Enough people go to this, enough of the locals go here.
Well, like Almighty Dala's getting fed with every fucking slot machine and every roulette table in the first place, so he is fine. But you have those performances that are all ode to Buffalo or to Gaia, appeasing Buffalo, running twice a day.
Yep. Just like right before the big show, you've got like the intro show where everybody's like getting their drinks, they're getting into it, and it's like this big theatrical performance, and they're like, oh wow, this is beautiful. And
maybe it's because of those shows that Buffalo and Almighty Dala are not clashing.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're paying tribute to Buffalo while Almighty Dollar is getting his attention all the time.
Make sure Buffalo is appeased.
But twice a day Buffalo gets appeased. And so you've got kinfolk making sure that show is running twice a day, and one of these Garu are in charge of those kinfolk. Okay, what are we doing today for Buffalo? What's going on? How are we appeasing Buffalo today? And so the spirits, I'm guessing the spirits in this Cairn are quite satisfied.
And this is where I love the idea of like, especially leaning in with the illusion spirits again. Oh, this is one of those places that I can imagine, despite this being a casino, there's some areas where some of these spirits are like, you get those moments of, was that actually a person I saw? Maybe that illusion manifesting to like trick somebody into thinking like, I won, I hit blackjack. You have a 2 and an 8. What the fuck?
Or it's like, how, the lighting in the area, the smells, the temperature is all so incredibly comfortable. Like it's that illusion of comfort. Yep. Time has disappeared and people stay here maybe just a little longer than they should, spending money. And a little longer than the other casinos in this town or in this city. people on average spend about an hour longer at this casino.
And then you get the the one guy who gets upset because he lost his life savings on the slots. The pit boss has to come down here and remind him, sir, the house always wins. We don't have to rig the games.
Yeah.
Because we don't. Almighty Dollar and the spirits take care of us.
Oh, that's beautiful. And again, on reservation grounds, right? So if you get pulled into the back room, your head actually might end up in a vice. What are you going to do? Call a cop?
Yeah. Well, they're on our payroll.
What's it called? I'm imagining it now of, maybe somebody went into the wrong room at the wrong time and Agaru flips shit and there's a mess. It comes to Mias's attention. Sai pulls out his phone. Okay, Kanda, where can I put this one? Like we're gonna take him out to the desert. We're gonna put him in there. Where can we put him?
Gives actual just coordinates. Like immediately has the coordinates ready.
Ooh, and this becomes a thing.
Yeah.
Because one time they buried someone out in the desert a little too close to something that was sealed.
Yep.
And he came back out.
Yeah. And so now Candor always needs to know what the next coordinate area is going to be if another body arrives.
Yep. So they're making sure.
So she's got a couple on deck. And so when he calls, she gives him the coordinates because that's how he likes it. And so she'll appease it. She'll give him the actual coordinates rather than some kind of weird, vague description.
Yeah, there's a stream that falls under the mountain and touches the willow.
She was doing that for a while. And then finally, that's when the disaster happened. They buried it a little bit too close to something that was sealed. And that's whenever the Bonar came in and said, okay, you're going to have to give exact coordinates. Here's a phone. Show her how to use it. Okay.
I love it.
If she doesn't want to learn, you are going to stick close to her at all times.
Somebody needs to follow her when she goes out on these walks. And if she says this is where, you mark that down.
Candor, one of her main Theurges, has a big right that needs some really specific stuff. Some expensive stuff. Midas gets a list one day just on his desk. Okay, let's see. A couple pounds of meat from these specific animals that aren't native to this area. That's no problem. We got a restaurant down the road. What the fuck do you need depleted uranium for? I don't need to know. Just give me the checkbook.
So they both make they both do have some reverence for the other, and they're craziness. Okay, I guess I'll give you these weird numbers. I don't know what you need weird numbers for, but sure, GPS, whatever.
This is also leaning more I'm picturing a lot of the Midas stuff because he's the character in my head right now, but I can imagine the candid conversations with him and some of the Glasswalkers specifically. Maybe one of the packmates gets to see this because they're a Glasswalker, and he's going on a full-blown tirade of how much of a pain in the ass Candor is the entire time. He is at his wit's end. And somebody asks, why don't we just try taking over this place? He pauses, takes a deep breath. As much as I hate her, she's a professional, and that's hard to find. I'd rather work with the devil I know
than a devil I don't.
So what I'm hearing here is we have the Scepter of the Cash Money Buffalo, a level 2.
Yeah.
Maybe room to grow.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe on its way to 3 because of expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
And the Glasswalkers are really pushing for it.
Right. Sept of it was wisdom, correct?
No, enigmas.
Enigmas,
yes. Sept of Enigmas. So level 2 on its way up to 3 Sept of Enigmas, with the controlling tribes being a Glasswalker Uktena fusion, but is largely it's professionally run. It's a little tense at the top levels, but it is built on mutual respect. It is open to multiple tribes. It's used to visitors, who I'm sure they put to work on the regular for room and board.
Yep.
If you can't pay your way, you'll work.
Mm-hmm.
Which works out just as well for them because there's a lot of moving parts to keep an urban Cairn like this at a casino up and running. So they probably thrive on those visiting Garu and
passing through the desert too. Like this is a city in the desert.
Yep.
The Garu who are traveling through had been traveling a while and maybe want to sit down for a minute before continuing through the desert.
Yep. You just got to do some work for us.
We'll roll out the red carpet. We'll give you the royal treatment. Here, how about a bottle of champagne to ease your weariness?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the bill.
Once a week, a kinfolk will come in and clean your room. But you got to do these jobs for us while you're here.
We got a couple things.
Oh, I fucking love this set already.
It's
a lot of fun.
Yeah, this has been a fun one. We are close to out of time. So
Yeah.
we're not out, but we're close to out of time. So I'm gonna hold it here, and I'm gonna tell you, I had planned on giving you a second Cairn.
Okay.
I was gonna do more. My plan was to do 2 of them in this, but we just kept going with this one.
I mean, we kind of did do 2 in one.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of,
two
but
tries.
yeah, but it was gonna I was gonna do another. We're gonna pivot and go. Okay, you got that. Now here's this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I like the idea of keeping this series going. You know, keep returning this into at least a mini series, maybe a mini series, something to help people build cairns. And maybe as we go, we will focus on some more of the why and the thought process behind things. We were just on the roll, and this was like way too much fun. But
maybe fleshing out the actual like set positions at some point.
certainly.
Yeah, and this is our first time doing the series, so maybe
I'm not down on it.
We focus on something. We focus on something new each time. You know.
Sure. We hope you guys like it.
And I will say this real quick: if any of you guys use the Cash Money Buffalo now in your game, since we've given you the building blocks, I want to hear about it.
Yeah,
And
we've got that storytellers corner on the
right.
Discord. So yeah, if you use it, let us know.
Well, McCarley Emberstring.
Yeah, that's where she comes from.
Whether that means anything or not in your games, whatever. But it just so happens. Oh, fucking really good stuff, you know. And I think, like again, I hope it's helpful because I know sometimes people have trouble making cairns, and you know, looking at it, some of the things that we went over, like how the atmosphere and how the tribes and the people in the Sept interact, and how that informs things. You know, how the elders get along. All of that's really important. How the totem spirits are appeased and how the spirits of that area interact with things. You know, we didn't talk about it much, but I mean, you look at something like a casino, there's got to be pattern spiders all over the place. So I would imagine there is a quote maintenance crew who goes through the Umbra, maybe keeper of the land even, and trims that shit up to make sure the pattern webs and the spiders don't get out of control.
Keeps that pond passable for the Garu in the area.
Maybe that's part of the regular work. Like, you know, instead of washing dishes for your meal, hey, go spend some time cutting down the webs.
Right.
And that's a job in itself.
Which makes me think about, you know, the idea of, and did we talk, this came up somewhere else too, I don't recall, but the idea of code words to be used on the casino floor.
Yep.
So you can refer to things, talk day-to-day business without alarming anybody.
Yeah.
For example, that could be considered gardening.
Yep.
We need a gardener. We need to get a gardener here.
We got some landscaping work that needs to get done.
Yep. And that's what that means.
Hey.
I like that.
Hey, Pit Boss, we got a guy causing problems. Is he a paying customer or a freeloader? Paying customers Garu, freeloaders is human.
Yep. And then that's really funny. And then so they know who to send or what to do in the situation when they go to find that individual.
Right.
Like, okay, if it's a freeloader, yeah, we're going to send our kinfolk over to deal with it. If it's a paying customer, we send one of the Garu over to take care of it.
Oh, freeloader, send Jason over there. He'll get him straightened out. Oh, it's a paying customer. Hey, Goreteeth, go break his knees.
Yep.
You can soak it.
Yeah, so you got those code words and those like phrases to kind of indicate who or what needs to happen.
Right. Devil's in the details. Preserving the veil, getting business done. And it's that little shit that gives extra life and flavor to a Sept.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what happens if the slot machines start paying out way too much for some reason?
You gotta go talk to those spirits.
Oof.
Somebody's not happy. Almighty Hell is definitely not going to be happy.
Yeah, definitely need to go talk to those spirits and make a deal. Who do we send? Definitely not Nick Tina. We need to go send one of those Glasswalker.
Or maybe it is one of the Utina doing just a minor bit of rebellion.
Yeah. And really talking them down.
I had no idea when we started this we were going to go to the Cash Money Buffalo. That's fucking awesome.
Me neither.
Oh,
Fucking
I
love it.
had a few ideas in my head and we're nowhere near any of them.
Like, I will say, when we started talking about the desert in Vegas, it was like, hey, that's where Nightfang's from. Maybe something involving his, vague kinfolkness. But no.
Sorry.
I think we ended up better.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Our Nightfang and Carly from a relatively similar area.
Hey, he's a Vegas kid. Grew up in fucking Casino Hotel. His mom was a blackjack dealer.
I would love to see more of that interaction in wherever guy takes us, which, by the way, will be airing next week.
Yep.
And every other week from there on, and for a while, really. You should probably, if you haven't.
Yeah.
Get on that.
Right?
That's good.
Hey, CJ. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Rage Across the Internet.
Rage Across the Internet, who?
Rage Across the Internet, who for the last 5 years has provided the very best in World of the Apocalypse related entertainment. And did you know? They have a Ko-Fi.
Really? A place where they can give rewards for throwing them a couple extra bucks?
Absolutely. A place where our listeners can support and get those rewards. Do you know, at the lower tier, they have things like a monthly backer night, as well as a game team.
Well, fucking damn, that sounds amazing. What do they got for the higher end?
Oh, man. For the higher end, you get stuff like a bonus episode and what we call the NPC of the Month Club, where you get a character out of Porter's personal Bible.
That really fucking useful. Where would I go to get to that?
Well, that's ko-fi.com/Rage Across the Internet.
I think I'm heading there now.
And but I will say with that, though, I think we are out of time. Great job, you two.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was
a lot of fun.
We'll be doing this with various combinations of people. Again, we're going to be... It's not the end of this. But for now, on behalf of everyone here at the Scratch and Wolf, at CJ, Em, and myself, we want to say thank you so much for listening, and thank you for your support. To take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember, it's always easy to stand next to someone when things are easy, but the real measure of friendship and loyalty is when things are hard. And here's hoping there's more easy times than hard. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you next time.